woman was hiding in the room, holding a weapon. As the footsteps of the robbers drew closer, Annie grew more and more nervous, but when the robber opened the door, he didn't see any trace of Annie. It turned out Annie had already hidden under the bed in advance. The robber accidentally dropped his flashlight under the bed. Annie quickly pushed it to the other side. Fortunately, the room was pitch dark, and the robber didn't discover her, but he seemed to sense something and directly turned on the light. Annie instantly became extremely tense. She was terrified as she looked at the robber standing right in front of her. Thankfully, the robbers all looked toward the bed. Lying on the bed was their leader, Jack. He had been stabbed by Annie's boyfriend when they broke in. There were many robbers, and her boyfriend was most likely already killed. Thinking of this, Annie couldn't help but shed tears, but realizing the tears might fall to the floor, she quickly shut her eyes tightly. Just as Annie began to feel despair, a chance appeared. At that moment, all the robbers had been sent by Jack to clean up the house. Only Alan remained in the room to take care of Jack. Seeing Jack in unbearable pain, Alan wanted to search online for emergency treatment. Coincidentally, Annie's backpack had fallen to the ground. Seeing the phone inside, Annie suddenly felt a glimmer of hope. She picked up a stick and was about to stick her head out, but unexpectedly, Alan suddenly looked in her direction. Annie immediately froze on the spot, unable to move. Luckily, Alan was actually talking to Jack and didn't notice her. Annie knew she had to act quickly. She carefully extended the stick and slowly reached toward the bag, but when the stick touched the bag, she realized the stick was too thick to hook the strap. Annie became extremely anxious. Success was right in front of her, and she didn't want to give up. Seeing that Alan hadn't noticed her, she made a bold decision. Annie slowly and gently placed the stick on the ground. Then she held her breath and stretched her entire body out. Taking advantage of the robbers' inattention, she managed to grab the bag. She hadn't even had time to celebrate. Just as she began to pull the bag back, Jack's hand suddenly fell from the bed. Such a nerve-wracking moment made Annie's heart tighten once again. She hid under the bed, afraid to move even a little. It wasn't until other robbers came in that her emotions began to calm down. She hurriedly took out the phone and prepared to call the police, but just halfway through editing the message, the phone powered off due to low battery. Annie was completely devastated, but even greater despair was still to come, because she suddenly heard Alan say they were going to move Jack and the bed to the first floor. Annie had no options left and could only surrender to fate and close her eyes.